YouTube. What's really good with you? What's really hood with you? It's your boy KJ. Welcome back to the channel, baby. I'm back with another banger. And today we're going to be reacting to a video that's, it's kind of here and it's kind of there. It's probably going to be number one on a lot of y'all list, maybe number two. No lower than number two, you feel me? But it's claiming that 1986 was the best year basketball I've ever seen. We talking about NBA, guys. It's saying 1986 was the best year out of all these years that the NBA has been played. So we know it's got to be something that's going to be pretty iconic, something that's going to be breathtaking. Let's just dive into this thing and see what it's really about. You know what I mean? Us together. That's what we do, right? We dissect this basketball thing. We're always looking for the greats and dissecting the greats and, debating over who the greats are. So we got to get right into it, man. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that hype button if you enjoy the content like I know you are. You feel me? You feel me? Let's get right to it.
Regular season game versus the Atlanta Hawks, the Boston Celtics were losing by 22 points at halftime.
Okay. A rare event. Y'all see this now. Atlanta is whipping up on the Celtics. It's a 1986, so it must be 85, 86 season. That's what I'm thinking. The Celtics getting their butt smacked right now. 70-48. That's a 22-point deficit, right? Let's see how this story goes.
And in the locker room, the Celtics coach, Casey Jones, gave the team what Larry Bird called one of the best speeches I've ever heard.
Casey Jones got on us 3 times really hard. And that halftime talk he gave is one of the best I've ever heard.
And what happened next is why the 1986 Boston Celtics are the greatest team of all time.
I just don't.
Y'all heard that. Now you heard the claim. They said why the 1986 Boston Celtics are the greatest team of all time. Now I would have to go with the 96 Bulls. That's me. I don't know about how y'all feel out there in YouTube world. Let's see how y'all feel. Let's see if they could change my mind after this show. Because we all know Larry Legend is one of the greats, and to a lot of people, the greatest. So let's dive in.
Have any fears about this team playing any team it's ever been. I would take them over anybody.
1986 Boston Celtics are the greatest team of all time.
I just don't have any fears about this team playing any team it's ever been. I would take them over anybody.
When you look at the 5 players that were starting, I
got to look at that. The 85-86 season. 85-86 Boston Celtics consisted of Dennis Johnson, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird. We got Robert Parrish and Danny Ainge. I'm going to give Larry Bird, he's the floor general. I've seen Kevin McHale and Parrish in a lot of his highlights, like different little passing and things. I've seen Danny Ainge do some point guarding or whatnot. I don't know if he was the point guard, but I'm just saying. I didn't even realize Danny Ainge was that old. I didn't know. When I saw him playing, who I seen him playing? I think I seen Danny Ainge playing with the Phoenix Suns. That's about the time I started seeing him. So I didn't even know that he had played with the Celtics. You feel me? Right. I don't know much about Dennis Johnson. I might have to go down that road. I don't know a whole lot about him at this point. I've seen Robert Parrish quite a bit because Robert Parrish played so long in the NBA, man. A lot of times we would joke about that, like how many years he played. And so Kevin McHale was always somewhere in the vicinity of Larry Bird, so you just kind of knew him by default.
I think the greatest starting lineup of all time, I think it's the greatest NBA team of all time, is the 85-86 Celtics. I do.
We had a great team. And at the end of the day, we had Red Auerbach, Casey Jones, Larry Bird, and nobody else did. So we'll take our chances anywhere, against anybody, anytime.
Because earlier in that season,
your confidence is supposed to be like that. That's where your confidence is supposed to be. Anytime. You in the NBA, you already one of the elites anyway. That's where your confidence is supposed to be at all times.
Christmas Day, the Celtics were beating the New York Knicks by 25 points in the second half. However, the Celtics ended up losing that game in one of the most embarrassing losses in Larry Bird's career.
Turnover. Sparrow.
However, the Celtics ended up losing that game in one of the most embarrassing losses in Larry Bird's career.
Turnover. Sparrow.
Whoa. Knicks putting on
The
y'all.
Boston Celtics are faced with the fact that they have squandered a 25-point lead. The underdog Knicks have gone wild.
That darn Patrick Ewing was crunked right then, man. New York fans, ooh-wee. They something else up there, you feel me? They are irate right now. Irate. They're irate right now, man. They elated, I guess. I gotta leave them words alone. I know it. I truly understand this.
At the buzzer, but the Knicks win in a stunning upset. They were down by 25 points and they came back, and this is going to be one of the big comebacks we have seen.
Down by 25 and won by 9. Ain't that something? That's a heck of a swing.
In many a year, Tom.
The loss to
Two
New York
overtime.
on Christmas Day was something that was embarrassing to the players, but nothing really gets them down for long. And
I'm going to say this, man. To lose in double overtime, I know it felt bad, but come on, man. You done played 4 quarters plus 2 overtime. You got to go on and watch that one off the books, because that was very taxing on the body. And even your best player can get tired after 2 overtime. Come on, man. We done played 4 quarters. Some of the best players against some of the best players. And then you play 2 overtime quarters. Man, fatigue is going to set in. You can't really knock somebody if they lose. Like, hey, the best man won today. I got tired, buddy. I ain't going to even lie to you. 2 overtimes? That's taxing, man. Come on now. In the NBA?
you have to do that over an 82-game schedule. You can't have those lows that are going to carry on for days, and you want to just keep consistent play and carry on.
Facts.
That loss demanded this team to refocus, because after that game, they made a strange promise to each other that sparked one of the most dominant runs in NBA history.
New York was not a great team. It was a team that we should have beat, and but it was a pattern with the team that year. It was a pattern that we would get these big leads and then maybe get a little bored because
I know he said New York was not a real good team, and that was a game that should have won. I've seen teams do this throughout the NBA. We all have. Teams that you should beat get up for you, and they will spank your ass. So people can say that's not a good team. A bad team can whoop your ass on any given day. I'm just being real. Especially if you get laxed, you get complacent, turnovers start to set in. You come on, man. And then when you think you got it because you got it, and you start to get real comfortable in that, you get, like I say, you get too lax. And and this other team is clawing their way up to success. They're trying to reach the pinnacle of where they're trying to reach where you at. Man, they'll spank you, man. Because if I'm at the bottom, it ain't nowhere else to go but the top. You feel me? And if you're at the top, you're always being hunted. So yeah.
again, our minds were really always on the Lakers and the NBA championship.
Losing
There you go.
can be a good thing because we was able to refocus. And not to mention, I think losing keep you humble.
The team got together. Everybody said, okay, look, man, we're dedicated. We lost a Christmas game, a double overtime game to New York, played really poorly, had every chance to win that game. And afterward, everybody got together and said, man, we got to play better than this.
And one night we were sitting around very late and having a really good time. And every night after the games, we were out together.
Well, Bill, after games, used to always come in the locker room and pop a beer.
And we all got together. And, I remember Bill Walton, of course, Bill says,
we're really close. We're really close to the championship here. How about we make a vow right now, right here and now amongst ourselves that nobody will take another drink until we win the championship. And everybody goes, yeah, I'll drink to that.
We're not going to drink.
That must said, take another drink. We won't take another drink till we win the championship. Ha ha, yeah, I'll drink to that. That was funny, dog. That was funny. I probably would have said that. I'll drink to that.
Until we win the championship. That never gets old. That never gets old. We're planning on winning it this year. so Bill said, well, of course. So.
I can remember somebody come in the locker room and said, no more beer or alcohol the rest of the year. I like to drink my beer, and I wasn't very happy about it.
Everybody quit drinking, and we all got together. And from that point on, I think we were like 60-10.
The Celtics won 17 out of their next 18 games after that promise, but during that winning streak, they got caught off guard by a stacked Atlanta Hawks team.
We're playing a game down in Atlanta, and this is how long ago this was, because Atlanta was a good team. And they had...
Oh, man, Bill Walter just cracking jokes everywhere, cuz. That's how long ago this was, because Atlanta was a good team. Dog, straight gut punched.
Dominique.
Oh, yeah, Dominique.
And Doc Rivers.
Battle, trades it out right. 1 second, that's the game, that's good.
Doc Rivers shooting that thing like that? Huh? I know what Dominique was doing, but Doc Rivers was shooting that thing like that? Did nobody y'all didn't tell me. Y'all didn't see me either. I didn't get the memo. You feel me?
Rivers hits the shot at the buzzer.
And Reggie Theus.
The outlet to Theus. Look at the antelope spin.
Nice pass.
And Kevin the Penguin.
That was a nice pass right there. Nice pass.
Willis.
3 to go. Willis to the baseline. Scored and a foul.
Oh, Willis with a great move.
Oh, yeah, I remember Willis.
Bird.
I remember Willis, man. I remember him, cuz. Yes. I even seen him show up on Basketball Housewives. I've seen him quite a... Yeah, I remember old boy.
Turns, has the shot blocked by Tree Rollins and all these guys, and we are getting hammered. We're just getting killed.
Everything worked well except the shot itself. Spud Webb.
Ooh, Spud Webb.
Wow.
Get up there, Spud Webb. Do you think the buy? See that buy.
Atlanta by 15. Right now they are blowing the Celtics away here in the first half.
Question as far as Atlanta's concerned is, can they sustain this emotional high for 48 minutes? This is not easy to do, even at home in front of a sellout crowd. Pick a category in this game, and the Celtics lost it.
Yes,
well, Atlanta won it, I should say, because this is a good old-fashioned beating up to now. Now they're still shooting from outside, trying to get back into it.
Oh, man, they're taking that thing.
Goes coast to coast, and Atlanta leads by 23.
Eddie Johnson, the little guard on our team.
They're taking that thing coast to coast on them, boy, man. There wasn't no defense. That defense that collapsed. Celtics defense that collapsed right then. Coast to coast, right down the middle.
Got into it with Bird and McHale, I think, walking off the floor. I didn't know anything about it.
Eddie was, we always come not in his right frame of mind.
Loose ball foul is called on the Atlanta Hawks. Now Eddie and Dennis Johnson are going after each other. Eddie Johnson went to throw the ball at Dennis. And Tree Rollins is entering the picture, as is Randy Whitman.
Atlanta. They talk trash. They're up by 20 at halftime.
Yeah, that was in
the crowd's yelling and all that stuff. You used to like that, though. You used to like when the crowd got on you.
When the fans were into it, or we wasn't into it, they let us know. Now it's time to battle.
And at the end of the first half, a standing ovation at the Omni for the red-hot Atlanta Hawks. They lead the Celtics 70-40.
Dog, what I done learned. Don't count them chickens before they hatch. Celebrating too early could always derail something that you got going on good. Celebrating too early will get you. I'm telling you guys, I know this for a fact. I'm pretty sure y'all have been through this in your lives before me or after me. It doesn't matter. Celebrating too early. Woo! Heck of a feeling, boy. Count them chickens for the hatch. And at the end of the situation, it don't play out like you thought it was going to play out. A little demoralizing, you feel me?
And Atlanta had been waiting, I guess, about a month to just get us. They'd been on the roll, and little did we know coming in that they had this kind of emotion built up already. They started the first quarter off and just ran us off the court. At halftime, we're down 23. It was not enough. They had a 23-point lead at the time, but they also had to verbalize at halftime. That Robert Perry said, they're talking at us, they're slamming us, and then they're talking more. And each time he mentioned a word, it seems like he got a little more angry.
We're down 25 at the half, and they're all trash talking, and fans are throwing stuff at us, and we're going to kill you, Celtics. Bird, Walton, McHale, Parrish, DJ, you guys are all frauds. What are you talking about? So we come in at halftime, we're just sulking in there with tails between our legs. We walk in, we're sitting in the locker room, and Casey Jones, our fantastic coach, the most like John Wooden of any coach I've ever been a part of.
Casey Jones got on us 3 times really hard. And that halftime talk he gave is one of the best I've ever heard.
Casey walks in, he looks at us, looks at his watch, doesn't say a word, walks over to the cooler and pulls out a beer. Pops.
That man popped a beer on halftime. Maybe I don't know much about halftime speeches, but I've never heard nobody say they included a beer. He popped a beer at half. Well, he the coach, you know what I mean? But don't the coach set the standard? I don't know. You know what I mean? You get a beer, I'm probably gonna want one too. We hot, we losing. I might count this day as a loss today. We start over tomorrow, you feel me?
The beer, goes and sit down, pounds down the beer, just sitting there. Finishes the beer, looks at his watch, looks at us, goes over to the cooler and gets a second beer. Pops the beer,
Dang.
pounding it down, doesn't say a word. Looks at his watch, looks around at us, goes and gets a third beer, does the same thing.
Dang.
And then he gets up, looks at his watch for the final time, and he says,
a lot of you guys have been here for a long time, but obviously you don't know what it means to be a Celtic. You know, the whole thing about having pride. You're wearing the jersey. And he never screamed or never yelled. And he goes, you know, we got it in us to come back and win this game. But we have to do it. We got to dictate the second half of how we want to play. But once I stepped on the parquet, you felt indebted to him to at least go out there and try to do something special that night and win a basketball game.
let's go. So we go out there and we're warming up. So start
What that was, 3 or 4 beers? They just look bad, kind of like some reverse psychology. I don't think y'all need to be wearing these jerseys. He said he didn't raise his voice, and then the way Bill Walsh said, he said, let's go. Drunk 3 beers, I guess, something to calm his nerve down so he could deal with the rest of the game. Let's go.
Third quarter. And they got a record sellout crowd there at the Omni.
Sellout crowd on hand. It was the earliest sellout for this game in Atlanta Hawks history, and it will be the biggest crowd they've ever had.
And then the team comes out in the second half, just eye of the tiger, and it's a great game.
That's it to Bird, who had 14 in the first half and now has 16.
To get into when something goes wrong. Bird.
That's 18 points in the ball game for Larry Bird.
We come out in the second half, and you can see right at the beginning, Bird was brutal with his trash talk.
Now Ames. They find Bird open. He winds up from 20. 3 for 3 for Larry Bird in the second half. 20 points for the game.
We learned the lesson. You know, don't wake up the sleeping dog, and we woke him up.
I said that. Don't count. They were celebrating at halftime. Why are y'all celebrating when it's 2 more quarters to go? It's a whole nother half to go. Then you playing the Boston Celtics. Y'all know better. You knew better than that. Y'all knew better. I mean, I don't care if we were playing the chickens from Aruba. You don't talk no jump before the game over with. I'm just saying. They woke him up. The coach pissed, but he kept it subtle. The players felt like they letting the coach down, and they went out there and did their thing. Come on, man.
Dennis Johnson. DJ will take it all the way. Has it blocked. Bird comes up with it. The basket counts, and a foul. Back play by Larry Bird.
Larry Bird started the second half by hitting 11 straight shots because
I know I'm finna say I done seen at least 8 points by Bird. He said he started the second half by hitting 11 shots. So 11 shots, we already know that's 22 points, right? Right? Is that right? No, that's more than that. What am I thinking about? No, that's right.
he had the Mamba mentality before it even existed. Larry Bird once said, "I've got a theory that if you give 100% all of the time, somehow things will work out in the end. Push yourself again and again. Don't give an inch until the final buzzer." And that's exactly what he did that night.
Into the hands of Dennis Johnson. Livingston is in, replacing Willis for Atlanta. Bird at the other end has Whitman on him, a much smaller man. Bird, spectacular.
Man, Bird came out the spin around dribble then. He came out the dribble while he was spinning around and shot that. Utmost disrespect. I'm just shooting all kind of shots of you. I'm not even getting square with the rim or nothing, with the board or whatever. I'm just, hey, backyard shot on you. You feel me?
24 points.
Spin
move. Bird. Oh, Bird,
off
not
the
to be
ground,
outdone, starting to put on a little show of his own now. Looks like an off-balance, low percentage shot. Meanwhile, he got nothing but...
Did y'all hear what he said? It looks like a low, off-balance, low percentage shot. Look, I said that. I said something pertaining to that.
Points for Bird. Then replacing Willis for Atlanta. Bird at the other end has Whitman on him, a much smaller man. Bird, spectacular. Larry Bird.
That also shows you how good of a shooter he was, too, because the average person is not doing that shot.
24 points for Bird.
Oh, Bird, not to be outdone, starting to put on a little show of his own now. Looks like an off-balance, low-percentage shot. Meanwhile, he got nothing but net.
Even the commentator said it looks like a off-balance, low-percentage shot. And it's hit all net. You know what I'm saying?
Bird is smirking. He's got 12 points in this quarter and 26 in the ball game.
Don't turn off that set yet, folks.
You watch an NBA game, and nobody wants to ever take the ball out of bounds because they know they're never going to get it back. Larry Bird always took the ball out of bounds.
I like Bill Walton's stories. I like how he keeps the humor in there. You know what I mean? I like that. It's truth and humor at the same time.
Selfless sacrifice that was Larry Bird's defining personal characteristic, what he would do to make other people's dreams come true. He's going to take the ball out of bounds, and that referee comes, and the referee hands the ball to Larry to start the third. We're down 25. Larry takes the ball and pushes it back into the midsection of the referee so that he can't get away, and the referee is like startled and staggered. What's going on here? It's all right there, right in front of the Celtic bench. And Larry looks right into the soul, right through the eyes of that referee, and he says to him, "We're not going to quit. You make sure you don't quit either." The guy just like melted on the spot. Larry hit 11 straight shots to start the third, including 7 threes. We were tied at the end of the third. We won in overtime. We did not need a plane to get home that night. Larry Bird, you're awesome.
Strong comeback here in the third quarter. Ainge finds Bird cutting through. Larry fall away. Glass, 2 more. 31 points for Bird. Wow, 17 in this quarter. A moment ago, they took their lead. Bird in the lane. 33 points for number 33. Celtics lead 198. Parrish hits Larry Bird with it. 18-footer. Go! Larry Bird! 35 for Bird.
Damn, dog.
And the Celtics have a 3-point lead with 48 seconds left. And what a comeback. Down by 22 at the half. The Celtics have gone ahead by 3 with 48 seconds left, Goose. He intentionally misses that one. Robert Parrish gets the rebound to Larry Bird. Ball game. Celtics win it by 3. What a win. A great win for the Celtics here at the Omni in Atlanta tonight. And they're slapping high fives as they go off the floor. A marvelous overtime victory.
I know Atlanta was pissed. Man, you talking about that coach probably tore that darn locker room up, man. I'd be pissed.
Final score here from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. The Celtics 125 and the Atlanta Hawks 1.
If you lose a close one, it hurt. True enough, it hurt. But to lose one and you was up 22 points. You was up 22 points. That was sting. That would hang with me for a while. 122, 125. Like I said in overtime, somebody gonna get tired. We done played 4 quarters. That fatigue is going to, you already fatigued, and then you going into extra quarters. Made us, that's just taxing. May the strongest man win.
22.
And we got out there and we ended up beating them.
That was my favorite regular season win from the '86 team, which was my favorite team.
Oh my God! Winner, we'd win a game. Bill would come in and open the beer, and I was going, "That was the best game I've ever been involved in." And the next night, that was the absolute best game I've ever been involved with.
This game was the greatest comeback of Larry Bird's career, but little did Bill Walton know that a few weeks later, Larry Bird would have one of the most iconic games in NBA history.
Larry was well known for predicting what he was going to do on the road trips. They asked Larry, "Well, so Larry, you come to the end of the road trip. Well, what do you got in store? You've achieved all your milestones." He said, "I'm going to play this game left-handed." And they said, "Yeah, right." So,
I think I reacted to this video. I reacted to the video because it's a whole video about this left-hand play.
I'm going to play left-handed. If the game's in doubt in the fourth quarter, I'll switch back to right-handed. But he played the entire game left-handed. And he had a triple-double.
Harry
Super close for Kersey. Close for Bird. That was a great shot. Floater. I mean, made it look easy. He shot that with the left hand, floating underhand there.
And he made that
made
look
it look
easy.
simple.
This is the year he starts.
Made that look so easy, man.
Shooting left hand more and more, culminating in the game in Portland. I do believe that the game got almost too easy for him. So he was manufacturing little challenges for himself.
You have to play games left-handed, or you have to do different things to keep your interest in the game.
I like the honesty. You have to do things. You have to trick yourself or persuade yourself to keep yourself interested. So at least he was being honest about that. You know what I mean? He didn't drop no big, crazy, outlandish story. He just said, I had to come up with something to keep me interested in the game. You playing so much basketball, so might tend to get a little bored with it here and there. It's your job, you know?
Larry Bird with that left hand again, and that's what makes him so tough. The fact that he has the ability to use both hands in close to the basket, something all young basketball players strive to do. Perfect both hands in close.
On Valentine's Day in 1986, without his second best player, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird disrespected an entire team by playing the game left-handed. And at the end of 3 quarters, Larry Bird had 27 points, nearly all of them left-handed. He was literally toying with the entire league.
I had a good left hand around the basket, and they always, if you watch, if I remember the game correctly, they would force me left to help. And they wasn't getting there quick enough, so I had shots around 5-6 foot with my left hand. I felt more comfortable with my left hand there.
So somebody knew the thing. They knew the scout report. They would force him left. Send him to his left. He's weak on his left. Shee. Not that night.
In my right. Then once I got started making a few, I just kept going.
Larry Bird from Johnson. Excellent pass and another 2 points with the left hand to Larry Bird if you're counting. He's got 31. Still 4:10 remaining here in the third quarter.
But here's how this legendary game was even more impressive than the legend itself. Because in the fourth quarter, it was a very close game, and over the span of 5 possessions, Bird made 3 consecutive insane left-handed shots. Most NBA players would never even dream of trying a left-handed floater in transition, but Bird casually faked one defender, avoided another, and lobbed a shot off the glass to put the Celtics up by 6.
Larry Bird and the left hand again.
I don't know why that surprised him, man. Bird confidence was through the roof, cuz. This cat knew what kind of player he was, man. You know what I'm saying? He knew what kind of player he was. He knew what he was capable of. He very much knew what he was capable of doing. So it's surprising, but it's not surprising. It's Bird. That's what Bird, he rises to the occasion.
35 for Larry. And he has a triple-double. He's got 11 rebounds and 10 assists.
And after a Blazers 3 cut the lead in half, Larry was still using his left hand and buried a hook shot that no other player has ever mastered other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he did it left-handed.
Left-handed.
For Bird.
On Clyde.
Another left-hander by Larry Bird.
I always respect when the alphas of the team hold each other. Clyde Drexler is not holding somebody that barely puts any points to keep energy for the other side of the game, right? He's holding the star player. I want the star player. Stick me on the star player. That's what I want. I got respect for that.
Larry's mixture of skill, creativity, and flat-out arrogance to pull off a sweeping left-handed hook shot during a close game in the fourth quarter has to be top 5 most savage moments of Larry Bird's career.
But what was crazy was fourth quarter close game, and all of a sudden he breaks out the most insanely batshit nuts left-handed shots in the world. Throwing left-handed floaters off the glass in transition from like 12 feet. And then the very next play just throws in a sweeping lefty hook from like 10 feet.
Shout out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? He the one that authenticated that move right there? That hook shot that nobody could block or nothing. He the one started that, ain't he? Y'all jump in the comments. I know you Larry Bird fans know this for sure. Jump in the comments. Shout out to Kareem on that hook shot. Bird executed it quite well.
And then 2 possessions later has a sweeping lefty and one hook. And it's like, okay, like you never see any offhand shots like that. And he did 3 in a row while they were holding off a charge. So Larry was a cold-blooded man. And
that hook shot is unguardable, man. You can't guard that shot. There's a whole body in between you and whichever arm they hooking with. There's nothing you can do about it.
You didn't need me to tell you that.
And with under a minute to go, the game was tied up, and Larry Bird decided that he should go back to his right hand and put the Portland Trail Blazers out of their misery. But as Larry went for the kill, a bizarre no call puts the Celtics in deep trouble.
Bird in a great move. No foul, no goaltending. 3-on-2 for Portland.
107, 107.
Vandeweghe.
Uh-oh.
Timeout Boston. They can't believe it. Going over.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a game here.
The official saying he hung on the rim, and he's right. It should have been goaltending, Bill.
Yeah.
Now
Take a look at it. Let's see if Bird gets hit.
There's the hanging on the rim on the shot by Bowie. That was goaltending with the ball.
I'm all about fairness. That was goal 10 all day. He's not supposed to touch that rim. Everybody know that. That was automatic 2 points right there.
Up there, Portland now with a 2-point lead in 41 seconds.
And down by 2, Larry Bird puts the team on his back.
Drexler.
Uh-oh. Get it, Bird.
Had it, but Bird comes down with the big rebound. Larry Bird.
Switch, baby.
We're tied with 6 seconds left. Timeout. Portland. Bird with 43 points.
This game-tying shot sent the game into overtime. And in overtime...
What old boy said that wanted to be over the Miami Heat? He said, if I need somebody to shoot to save my life, I'm getting Larry Bird. So, yeah. We already know. What is it, Pat Riley? Ain't that what Pat Riley said? If I need somebody to save my life, somebody got to shoot to save my life, it's going to be Larry Bird.
With the Celtics down by 1 with 17 seconds on the clock and Larry Bird's historical performance on the line, Larry Bird does exactly what he's been known to do over and over and over again in the clutch.
Game clock, top of your screen. Larry Bird with 3 seconds left.
In your face, man. On your mama now.
47 points for Larry Bird. The Boston Celtics,
so
as they usually
close.
do, have prevailed here in overtime from Portland. Our player of the game, our Light Beer and Turner Broadcasting most valuable player, is Larry Bird with 47 points on 62% shooting, 14 rebounds, 11 assists. He had 1 steal and 1 block. Another triple-double for Larry Bird, his second consecutive one.
Some night.
What's that? 47 points. 47 points, 11 assists, and 14 boards. Second straight triple-double. 47 points. A lot of these games are going to overtime or double overtime. Come on, man. There's some balling going on back then in 86.
2% shooting, 14 rebounds, 11 assists. He had 1 steal and 1 block. Another triple-double for Larry Bird, his second consecutive one.
Some night it goes in, some night it don't. That night it happened to work out. But if I remember correctly, we won that game in overtime by like 1 point. So, you know, I probably shot with my right hand the whole game.
After that game, a reporter named Dan Shaughnessy wrote an article in the Boston Globe titled, "Just Call Him Lefty Bird," where Larry Bird said, "I'm saving my right hand for the Lakers."
Talking junk about them Lakers. You feel me? I'm saving my right hand for the Lakers. I think, like they said early on when they lost that game, right? The Lakers were always in the crosshairs. They always in the crosshairs. That's the team to beat. They knew who they were gonna meet at the end of this season. So I guess you gonna shoot your shot at Magic and then let them know you coming. If Magic was in the game, if Magic was already with the Lakers at that time. Save my right hand for the Lakers, Bird told the Boston Globe's Dan Shaughnessy. Afterward, in the article titled, "Just Call Him Lefty Bird," the Celtics went on to beat the Lakers 2 days later, 105-99. Bird, unleashing his right hand, recorded 22 points and 18 rebounds.
This Larry Bird trash talking story is just one of many, because that same year, for All-Star Weekend, the NBA held its very first three-point shooting competition, and Larry Bird unleashed his best trash talking one-liner of all time.
Speaking of shooting threes, Coach, you at the three-point competition, walking in the locker room, who's playing? Did you really say that? Who's playing for second?
Yeah, I did. I felt so bad because
Leon Wood never crossed the three-point line. All he did was he always shot threes. So I thought he might be the competition. When I walked in there, he's sitting there, and I said, okay, now they're down to the nitty-gritty. Who's coming in second? You already know who's going to win this. I think they were a little nervous.
And during this three-point shootout, as Larry Bird hit 11 straight threes, he decided to hit one off the backboard just for fun.
Oh, wait a second. Off the glass.
That chick said my name on it for a week now, and I knew I was going to win this thing.
And after the All-Star break,
that mug talked so much joint. He shot 11 threes straight. He shot one off the backboard on purpose. On purpose, guys. Then he gonna talk about how the chick had his name on it for a week. Man, get your out of here, man. Talking junk. Just think about like now we going back and watching it and talking about it, and it's all fun and game. But think about being one of the players is like you tired of hearing this junk, man. You tired of seeing, you tired of hearing, you ready to whoop this guy. Not like literally, I'm talking about on the court, you know what I'm saying? But then that was a hard feat, you know what I mean? That wasn't no easy task. It's just say you finna whoop Bird and them Celtics.
Larry Bird and the Celtics cruise to the #1 seed in the playoffs as Larry Bird inevitably wins his 3rd MVP award.
Dang.
Larry has had back-to-back MVPs, and he's like headed toward a 3rd MVP.
There was a guy who wasn't the fastest, wasn't the highest jumper, wasn't the tallest, wasn't the strongest, but he was the best.
He mastered the game. He literally mastered the game.
Here's a 1986 magazine on the NBA. And remember, this is a league with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, and Dr. J.
Look at that lineup, guys. Look at all them folks. And we probably done said this in a lot of videos. But y'all know MJ was there. But he wasn't there. You feel me? If you stand with me on that point. He was there, but he wasn't there. I think MJ ruled the 90s. I think in the 80s, if you stroll over, you look at, well, y'all, you can use any one of these. You can say the Lakers had their number. Pistons sure enough had their numbers. And the Celtics. They whooped Mike ass up and down all over the place in the 80s. And I'm just going to be honest with you, you know what I mean? Going back doing the research, he played a lot of top tier basketball, but he did not total a lot of wins against these major teams like the ones, what the Pistons won 2? They won 2, right? In the 80s. I don't know how many the Lakers won, the Celtics won, but they were probably going back and forth. I'm gonna have to do the research on that right quick, but I know Jordan didn't get much, you know what I mean, during the 80s. He played some great ball. He had some awesome ass dunk, but like just saying you got that ring, no, it did not happen. That did not happen in the 80s. If I'm not mistaken, let me see, first year. Let's see. Okay. That was 91. That was 90-91 for the Bulls' first ring, right? They defeated the Lakers 4-1 in the NBA Finals. So, like I said, Jordan got his ass handed to him in the 80s. And so that's another thing about when, like, I would say this about anybody or anything, like, I see a lot of times in today's time with kids trying to accomplish something, us adults trying to accomplish something, you want to go straight to the top overnight. It don't work like that, man. As good as a player as Jordan was, and I know he had great teammates too, I'm not going to do this thing where people say, well, he didn't have no help. I'm not even going to say all that. If you made it to the NBA, you were good. You were great. If you made it to the NBA, you were not Babbage. You were better than a lot of people. So what I'm saying is, their success did not come overnight. They got their ass whooped all through the 80s, right? You go to school 12 years before you get that diploma, right? I mean, you go to college 4 years before you get the bachelor's, 2 years before this. Nothing that's worth having happens overnight, man. You got the work and time gonna have to be put in. The Pistons won, and the Lakers. I say the Pistons won. Let's see, the Pistons, Lakers, and the Celtics, they own the 80s, right? Ain't that right? Y'all jump in the comments and let me know.
And in a league with all of these all-time great players, everyone agreed that Larry Bird was the best. But as soon as
he was the best. He was the best at that time. I don't even think that should offend anybody. He was the best at that time. For real, for real. Right? I know like 5 or 6 years ago, LeBron was the best. It might have been a little longer. It might have been 8 years ago, like 2017, 2018. 18 gonna put that about we 6 in, 5.5, 6 in, right? So you go back about 7, 8 years, they said LeBron was the best. Well, people might not like him or whatnot, but he was the best at that time. If you go back to them years. Now, for us now, SGA is the best. He is the best right now. You know what I mean? Now you can go back and argue about people of the past. We're talking about right now at this moment. So back then, Bird was the best.
As the playoffs started, Larry Bird and the Celtics would get tested by someone who was trying to take his throne.
That's what I'm talking about.
In Game 1, Michael Jordan dropped a spectacular 49 points.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my dog right there. That's my dog. I know a lot of y'all gonna have him at 1B, and I'm cool with that because I've talked to you guys in the comments, and I know you guys are Bird 1A, Jordan 1B. Some of y'all are Jordan 1A and Bird 1B. And I'm not mad at either one of those. You feel me? I'm not mad at that at all. I enjoy us talking about it. You feel me? I mean, you know, everybody's in their own, we got the right to have our own opinions. You feel me? And I enjoy conversating with y'all about it in the comment section. So I appreciate y'all for dropping comments about who you think was the greatest. I read a comment earlier this week, and it was on one of my Larry Bird reaction videos. And I'm telling you, this comment was so long, dude. If you can see my hand, and you know how, if you're looking at a phone, right? I strove for like probably 4 or 5 clicks. Strove. It had all of Larry Bird's statistics down there, man. And y'all know stats are facts. It had all of them down there, dude. And I told this person, I said, man, you got to be a Larry Bird fan. For you to type all that out, for them to type all of that out, come on, cuz. You don't do that by mistake.
But Larry Bird had the Celtics would get tested by someone who was trying to take his throne. And in Game 1, Michael Jordan dropped a spectacular 49 points.
Ooh.
But Larry Bird had an all-around game with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory. By Game 2, Michael Jordan had a revelation.
And this is Game 2 of the best of 5.
Is this a 63-point game? Is this going to be the 63-point game in the Boston Gardens? In the Gardens?
First-round action, and the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row over the Bulls.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
Facts. One man cannot beat the Boston Celtics. It was a well-oiled machine. Every part of that machine, like I'm saying, when you jump in your car, you can have good tires all you want. You can have great tires. I'm talking about you got them wet with the best tire wet, right? They aired up to the right pounds per square inch, right? PSI, they up there. Everything looks good about them tires. You look on the hood and you ain't got no motor. It don't matter what kind of tires you got on there now because you can't go nowhere on them, right? You can have the best motor. Oh man, this thing look good. 5.7 liter, 6.4 liter, 6.2 liter. No transmission, so you have no way to get all that power to the wheel, right? Huh? We can have the motor and we can have the drivetrain. Nothing for anybody to sit in. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, my point is, you got to have that whole car to do anything, to get anywhere. Same thing with Jordan saying, no one player. You got to have a team to beat the Celtics at that time. A team, one man wasn't going to do it. I'm just saying, one man was not going to do it. I like how Jordan rocking the low cut right there. He had all his hair back there. It's early in the career, man.
But he sure did try.
2 in a row over the Bulls.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
But he sure did try, because Jordan turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in a playoff game.
Lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but Bird played pretty well defensively against him.
Man, I fell in love with the way them nets sound when somebody popped them net. Ooh. That little kid right there still lives in me today. I love the way those nets sound. When you number net, everybody always goes for nets. Ain't nobody shooting for that backboard. That's what made that shot, that Bird shot in the three-point contest so awesome to me, because he did that on purpose. The release, you can see the slow little backward spin and to calculate and know right where to hit it to get that bank from three. Come on, man.
I know we started Dennis Johnson out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate. And then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Jordan hits it.
Uncontainable, unguardable Michael Jordan. He was on the way. Now, this clay was still being molded. We didn't win much against these guys. I don't think he won much at all against these guys, for real. He got his butt torched. Like, he did some torching, but he never walked away with them. He didn't walk away with many W's. And y'all, I mean, y'all know that. Y'all know the past.
56 for Jordan, and that ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader. Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
But it was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
But Larry
Bird said that was God disguised as Michael Jordan. Elite basketball, baby. Elite basketball.
Bird left with the most important statistic of all, the W.
The W.
10 on the clock. Bird, pick and roll Paris.
Paris. Woo. Pick and roll Paris.
Victory for the Boston Celtics to take a 2-0 lead over Chicago in their best of 5.
Dang.
Michael Jordan.
You think about they were just going best of 5 back then, so one more game, it's over with, man. And Mike tried his best to get it. Man, he tried, dog. 63 points, he tried. But like he said in the pregame interview, ain't no one man beat the Boston Celtics.
Didn't beat Larry Bird. You showed Michael Jordan going between his legs one time in the highlights, against Larry Bird. And that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
but if memory serves me correct,
here we go.
They got swept. No, not lost. They got swept. Okay.
And Isaiah is still holding a grudge against Mike for that what we call that? What games were that, y'all? He wasn't part of the Olympic games, right? And then the story was like Mike wasn't gonna play if Isaiah was there or whatever. That might not even be the story no more. But anyway, every chance he get to tell you about Mike failing, or not Mike failing, but Mike falling short because he learned lessons in this. All this is getting him primed and ready. But Isaiah's gonna rub it in his face. I want you to know we beat you. And then you didn't beat them. You got to know that. And you can't even argue with Isaiah because these are facts. It's one thing for somebody to make up stuff and slap you with pop, pop, pop. But when they tell you stuff and it's true, man, you just have to grit your little teeth, look to the side. Like, you always coming with the facts. You always coming with the facts, Isaiah.
That's true.
Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not?
Dog, don't nobody say it like Paris. You feel me? Paris from the hood. Paris is from the hood. Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass. You hear me? Come on now. I know y'all heard that.
Swept. Okay.
That's true. Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
I rest my case.
And after Larry Bird and the Celtics swept Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the first round, the Celtics dominated.
Man, they did my boy so bad. They got his hair looking like it's about to come out. They got my boy hair thinning. They got Jordan hair thinning, man. Got him under so much pressure right now. Don't worry about it, Jordan. Your best is yet to come. Keep hope alive, baby, like I know you will.
After Larry Bird and the Celtics swept Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the first round, the Celtics dominated their way to the NBA Finals and was looking forward to facing their biggest rival, the Los Angeles Lakers. But the Houston Rockets beat the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals on this last-second shot.
Hakeem Olajuwon has been ejected. So has Mitch.
Dang. I just did a video about Akeem Olajuwon, my last one, talking about his footwork. I didn't even know that the Celtics thought they were going to play the Lakers, and the Lakers got put out by Houston. That doing Akeem, he done got ejected. He done put one thing you ain't going to do. You ain't going to disrespect Akeem Olajuwon. He going to put them skippity paps on your ass, man. They're going to put them skippity paps on you now. If y'all don't know what skippity paps are, go watch these cats. Watch a couple cat videos. And people be getting in the face of them cats, and them cats hit their ass with 3 quick ones real quick before you can blink your eye. Those are skippity paps.
Kupchak. McRae will inbound. 1 second on the clock. Sampson.
Oh!
It goes. It's over.
It's over with. It's over with.
A miraculous shot by Ron
Hey, that's
Sampson.
Mike Cooper, ain't it? That's Cooper. That's the defensive specialist. That's the defense specialist right there. The defensive specialist. He laying on the ground like he can't believe it. Over with for this year. Try again next year.
Off balance has given the Houston Rockets the Western Conference Championship and a trip to Boston for the NBA World Title.
Well, we always want to play the Lakers.
Who was that shot though,
Houston
dog?
Rockets, the Western Conference Championship.
I know that young man.
To Boston for the NBA World Title.
Well, we always wanted to play the Lakers. There's no question about it. But Houston was an upcoming team.
I gotta look that up. Who put the Lakers out in '86? Let's see who shot the shot. Let's see, to put the Lakers out in '86. Let me see. I cannot remember that name. Okay, Ralph Sampson. Does Sampson got a son? Did Sampson have a son to play? Did Sampson have a son to play with the Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron went back for the second stint? I wonder.
And after 4 games of the NBA Finals, the Celtics were leading the series 3-1. But in Game 5, the Rockets went back to their home court and literally fought for their lives.
3-1.
Seasting and Sampson. And now Dennis Johnson. And a melee is broken out here. A melee is broken out. The benches have emptied. And they have brought police onto the floor.
Blows out there,
At the bottom of the pile is Walton and Sampson right now. It all started with Sampson and Jerry Seasting. And they're still going at it, and there is blood.
You can't be doing that. I mean, I thought...
Them boys were throwing some real haymakers out there. Boy, Sampson was throwing them. Sampson and Walton got into it. You think about these NBA players standing 6-something, throwing them 7 feet, and you got these little short men running out there 6 foot, 6'1", 5'8", 5'9", trying to grab these juggernauts. And man, your little 5'9", 5'10" ass can't pull apart these knowing giants. So the fight gonna go on for another 10 or 15 minutes. You trying to pull a man away from another man, and he 2 men by himself. Like, God. Dang. Let's see, did Ralph Sampson. Let's see here. Okay, I had his name. I've got the wrong person. I thought Ralph Sampson had a son play with Cleveland. I was wrong.
I think that you just got to play the game. It was a game that we wanted to win. We wanted to get the series over with because anything can happen if you stay out there long enough. You get guys injured. We were better than that. We should have, I don't know about sweeping them, but we should never have lost Game 5.
We had got pushed around in Game 5.
They lost composure. Then everybody got to sit.
The next day on Saturday, everybody was really quiet.
But there was one person who wasn't worried at all, and that was number 33. And I remember him on that Saturday afternoon of practice saying that we need rebounds, we're going to get rebounds. We need this, we're going to get that. We're going to be fine.
Okay.
Larry Bird assured the world, we're going to be fine.
because Game 6 was at the Boston Garden, the most ruthless stadium in all of sports. And Larry Bird said, Sampson and the rest of the Rockets better put on their hard hats because our fans can get nasty too. There will be a lot of contact in Boston.
And I was in Boston when you're facing the Celtics with a
Dude, it was people standing on the rim. They standing on the rim out there. That's 10 feet off the ground, cuz. They standing on the rim.
whole Jerry Seasting thing with the fight. And I mean, that crowd was, the Garden was pretty tough on you, Ralph.
It was tough because the hallways that don't come to Boston, we're going to kill you, we're going to do this, whatever.
You got death threats?
You got a few threats, but we played anyway, so it was all right.
I was at that game. I was in the tunnel.
Crazy.
I think everybody was there like 45 minutes before that game. People were just ready. Yeah. And when Sampson walked out, he walked by us. You could just see he was done.
Yeah.
He was petrified. And he should have been. He was like, it really seemed like he was going to get killed.
He's taking on Jerry Seasting. Come on.
And so we get into the game, and Larry's out doing his pregame warm-up, and we're all in the locker room stretching and working it out.
We were in the locker room, and you know, you could hear fans out there, but in '86 at Game 6, that locker room sounded like they was in the locker room.
And the crowd is absolutely going berserk on about an hour before the game.
And then Larry comes into the locker room and he looks at us all, gathered all our attention. He says, guys, I was just out there in the crowd. It's an hour and a half before game time. And the crowd is already in and they're ready. And right now,
an hour and a half before the game, the crowd is already there and they root. Think about being somewhere excited, irate. An hour and a half before the event started, like you already crazy. It's one thing to cheer and jump and get crazy the entire game. I give you that. But an hour and a half before the game, do you know what kind of stamina them people had to have to go crazy an hour and a half before the game even started? Come on, man. I'm gonna tell you, I would have been taking a nap by second quarter. I would have been sleeping in the mud. That's just me.
Want the blood of the Houston Rockets.
Hey, I'm telling you, them fans want blood out there, and they don't care whose it is. We lose, it's our blood.
And if we don't deliver today, they're going to want our blood. Now, let's get going. Who's coming with me?
I don't think anybody could have beat us that day. We were on. We made some mistakes early, but the energy was there, the excitement was there, and we knew if we continued to play hard, we were going to win.
I stunk it up. It was one of the worst performances of my career. Larry had to call a timeout because Akeem had stolen the ball from me a bunch of times and went right. We had a big lead. Larry and Kevin were playing great. And then Akeem just started stealing the ball from me, and I was just...
I like how Bill Walton just being honest. He didn't try to put it on. That's one thing I could just, in my older years, just holding yourself accountable, man. That you just because when you hold yourself accountable, you ain't got to say it a bunch of times. If you lie, you just got to continue to lie and to just shape that lie so many times. When you hold yourself accountable and just accept what it is and what it ain't, everything just go a lot smoother. So Bill said he stuck it up. He said, I stunk it up, man. I'm just messing up. Bunch of passes I was supposed to get, I didn't get. I can appreciate that honesty.
Bobbling everything. And Larry calls timeout and he walks over to Casey Jones and says, Casey, you got one choice. You can either take me out or you can take Walton out right now. Casey Jones, he did the right thing and took me out.
Dang.
But aside from Bill Walton's early blunders, the Celtics proceeded to show why they had the greatest home court advantage of all time. Because after Ralph Sampson punched Celtic player Jerry Seasting in Game 5, the Celtics crowd, as you can imagine, didn't like Ralph Sampson at all.
Dang.
And they made sure that he knew it.
All of a sudden, there was all this hate letters and calls and whatever it may be. So we get in the game, and you know how the Garden was. It just hyped up, and you're ready to play.
Loud,
there
man.
was a mannequin or stuffed animal or stuffed human figure, right, with socks and jerseys and 50, and they had an afro wig on it, whatever. And then they had number 50 on it, had Sampson back, and they had a noose.
Oh.
Hanging up over the rail of the Boston Garden. Like they were gonna hang me when I got there. But you know, it was something you look at, and now you look at it again and see the magnitude of it. It's kind of crazy, right? That you have to go in an arena and play, and they allow that to happen in the arena. I don't think they would do that today, or somebody did today. Probably security would take them out. But you know, it's nature of the beast.
Dang, that was a bit far right there. That was a bit far because fights happen in the NBA, but a noose around the neck. Come on, man. Yeah, that hit a little deeper right there. That hit a little deeper. People gonna say that ain't racist, but you put a noose around the neck of a black person or insinuating, and that's gonna throw us back into the slavery conversation. So yeah, that was a bit far. That probably would have shook him right there. That probably shook him a little bit. That probably would have had me kind of pissed right there. Because fights happen in the NBA. That's just part of it. Teams get into it. Back then, no team like today with everybody being cool. Everybody's cool. LeBron is everybody big bro. Back then, man, the Bulls didn't like the Knicks. The Knicks didn't like the Bulls. We didn't like the Spurs. Didn't nobody like Seattle Supersonics, you know what I mean? The teams did not like each other, wasn't no hanging out with each other like they do today. So yeah, teams would get into it. There were gonna be some fights. But I think making an image and putting a noose around the neck is a bit much. That's kind of far, man. But fans will take it there. They will take you there.
In Boston, you understand their passion though for their team, but then you do something against their team, then some people might do that.
And that's one thing about fans. I mean, Boston fans, I never seen the opposing fans going to get on anyone like I seen them get on Ralph Sampson. They might as well just took him home because I think he ended up with 2 points and 2 rebounds. And I think the game before they had like 24 and 22. Yeah. I mean, they took him completely out of the game.
They took him out of the game. Dog, after you see somebody when somebody make a dummy or whatever and put your name on the back of it and your number and put a noose around the neck, it ain't even about basketball no more. It done got kind of racial. That's probably the utmost disrespect because fights happen in the NBA. So had the Celtic player whoop Samson, wouldn't nobody felt no type of way. But because Samson got off that punch, now y'all want to hang me? You want to kill me? That's a bit much. In the 80s, you only removed from the 60s about 20 years, right? 60 to 80 is 20 years, so it's 86. So you think about 64 to 86, right? It ain't but like 22 years. So yeah, a lot of that feeling is still floating around.
Tough to play on.
You don't know which way they were going with that. Were you just an upset fan, or what did you really mean? What were you really trying to say? You feel me?
Road, and the Celtics have won 40 straight here. Sampson turnaround over McHale.
And there was this one elderly woman who was maybe 5 feet tall and maybe weighed 80 pounds. And she had a front row courtside seat. And she brought a sign that was bigger than she was. And she said, "Hey, Ralph." And she's referring to the big fight with Jerry Seasting, who was a little tiny guy himself. And she goes, "Hey, Ralph, I'm 5 feet tall and 92 years old. You want to fight me too?" And this lady just stood in the front on the edge of the court. She never sat down. She just yelled and screamed at Ralph the whole time.
Boston only lost one game at home that entire season, in part because of that Celtics home crowd, but mainly because Larry Bird was the best player on the planet. And in Game 6, he showed exactly why.
What did we get on that Sunday afternoon? We got what Larry Bird maintains to this day was the game in which he was, and I quote him, most prepared ever to play. All I know is this: prepared, whatever degree he says he was, it was one of the greatest individual performances. I think it made.
They took Samson out that game. Samson was not in that game. They took him out. And you talking about letting people get under your skin, he was out.
It been his greatest game.
McRae on Bird.
It was spectacular because in a game of a lot of winners of the genetic lottery. I mean, you had Akeem, you had Ralph, who were just brilliant. You had Kevin McHale, you had the Chief, and here was Larry. Larry got every rebound. Larry made every steal. He made every pass. He just literally did everything and made the rest of the world seem inconsequential.
Bill Walton said, number 33 had gone out and painted the perfect Larry Bird masterpiece. And it wasn't even about the numbers. It was about his effort on both ends of the floor. A seemingly lost art for superstars of today. He was all over the court, double teaming and getting back to his assignment, in the passing lanes, forcing turnovers left and right, and diving for every loose ball. But the moment that best describes his effort that night was when he dove on the floor and forced a jump ball against 7-foot Hall of Fame center Hakeem Olajuwon. And without batting an eye, Larry Bird, who wouldn't impress anybody with his jumping ability, did this.
He got a jump ball against Olajuwon. Now, he can't do that, but he did it, okay?
I got a jump ball against Olajuwon. That's not saying that he can out jump. That's saying he out hustled Olajuwon. You feel me? A jump ball against that guy, 7 feet? Come on, bro. You out hustle Olajuwon on that particular play. And one thing you can't say, that's why Larry Bird liked MJ and Kobe so much. You hear how he's talking about, they always talk about how he played on both sides of the ball. Superstars today, they're going to play hard on offense and they're going to conserve their energy on defense. Now, that's not for me to say. I don't know if they've been told that or that's the way it's supposed to be, but I know back then your superstars went both ways. It's two sides to the game. Like if you go play a pickup game right now, you and your friends going to get into it if you play one side of the ball. Now, if you're getting torched, but you trying, people can live with that. But if you're getting torched and you ain't even trying, but then you want the ball all the time on offense, because we got a problem with that. So what I'm saying is, it's two sides to the ball. He played both sides. That's why him, Jordan, and Kobe are like seen as some of the greatest of the greats because they gave you everything when they played.
He was omnipresent defensively. He anticipated where they wanted the ball. He was like a one-man zone, quite frankly. He was going crazy, but he was everywhere.
Michael Jordan summed it up perfectly when he was told to list Larry Bird's weaknesses. MJ said, Larry Bird can't jump and he's not that quick, but he makes up for it by using his head, analyzing the opponent. It makes him better than the competition.
Now, this the guy I look to, right? This is the guy I look up to. Larry Bird can't jump. He's not that quick. But he makes up for it by using his head, analyzing the opponent. It makes him better than the competition. Facts. All facts.
Can't jump, and he's not that quick. But he makes up for it by using his head, analyzing the opponent. It makes him better than the competition. Consequently, he doesn't have a weakness.
Consequently, he doesn't have a weakness. Because what's the strongest muscle that anybody got? The strongest muscle that anybody got. It's not your arms, not your pecs, not your legs, it's your brain. That's the strongest one. It runs everything and does a lot of stuff on autopilot. Like it runs you behind you on autopilot. While you doing everything that you do, it's running all these little systems. So I'm thinking about it. The way he analyzed the game, right? He out-thunk a lot of people. That's not even a word, thunk. He out-thunk a lot of people. He was out-thinking a lot of people. You seen that just from the rebound and the no-look passes. My friend that I work with, Willie Trippett, will always say, man, he would stack his moves like chess. He wasn't playing. He says chess, not checkers. So yeah, he hitting you with a move, but his next two moves, he's already thought about it. Next time you're on offense, what he gonna do? What he gonna do on defense? The next type of plays he gonna do to score. So if a guy that I worked with was telling me that, what was a guy that in the NBA at the top of the pinnacle, what is he thinking like? You know he got to outthink everybody.
Oh my gosh. And then the second half started and it was just phenomenal because he just kept going. He would post up about 18, 20 feet away and he'd get the ball and they would then poor Rodney McRae or whoever they would have on him, Robert Reed. I mean, I'm sure they tried Ralph and Hakeem on him. It didn't matter. He could have put all 5 guys on him and they couldn't stop it.
The numbers won't show it. It was a very nice routine triple-double, 29, 11, 12, something like that. And he just totally dominated the game in every way. And of course, the artistic highlight was when he, on the right box, zigzag dribbles out to the corner to turn around and hit a three and go, and when they were pouring it on in the second half.
Dennis Johnson.
Oh, right there.
Sampson and Wall.
On the right box, zigzag dribbles out to the corner to turn around and hit a three and go, and
right there, their hands interlocked. So the defense was on Bird, right? Bird to let the ball go. Oh boy, his fingers interlocked with Bird's finger. If you look at that, you can see that. His fingers are interlocked. So that means Bird got that thing off in just the right amount of time, man. It's something else I saw here. Them Pumas right there, the number 50 is where Samson got on. Those some nice ass Pumas. I would rock them joints. You feel me?
Dominated the game in every way. And of course, the artistic highlight was when he, on the right box, zigzag dribbles out to the corner to turn around and hit a three and go, and when they were pouring it on in the second half.
Dennis Johnson. There's Sampson and Walt. 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Wide open by himself, guys. Didn't nobody follow him over there.
He would dribble out to the three-point line, and then without even looking, he would just throw it back up there and then run down the court with his arms in the air and his finger pointed up and say, "We're number one." And the Celtic crowd is just saying, "Harry."
Walton is Joe Dorn cheerleader on the team. You hear me? Bird didn't never. I see why Bird didn't say a lot. He didn't have to. Walton said everything. And that thunderous giant voice he got, Bird voice is kind of soft, kind of slow to talk. Walton is thunderous and steady spitting out words and just, you didn't have to say nothing. Walton said everything for you.
Go Celtics. There we go. It was absolutely fantastic. Larry Bird, the greatest player I ever played with by far.
The Celtics dominated that game, and Larry Bird was rightfully crowned Finals MVP. Larry Bird said, "That was the only game that I thought I was totally prepared for. As far as the focus was concerned, none better. Never. I should have quit right there."
Dang.
I never saw a man play a better game of basketball, ever. That's the greatest individual performance. The defensive dominance that Larry did on that afternoon in June of '86. I would love just that tape to be shown to every high school and college coach, every pro coach now, just everybody. Just say, "Tyler, you can't play basketball better than this. You can't."
And after that series, Hakeem Olajuwon called Larry Bird the best all-around
player that I've ever seen.
Player that I've ever seen.
We won the championship. We played unbelievable. The team was so in sync. But it's how we won. It's the ball movement. It's you go back.
And you talking about the other greats, like they just they have respect for you, man. And you could not, what they call the hick from French Lick, that's probably meant more than the money. Just the respect that he had from the guys that, like, they were also elite of the game at that time too, you know what I'm saying? But to know that you outdid those guys, come on, bro. Come on.
I can look at that. There were 7 passes. The ball didn't touch the ground. Everybody on the team touched it. And you had guys just dropping things, and we would run out teams. And it was just so much fun playing that moment was like the pinnacle of your career. I remember telling my wife, I was driving home, and I went like, I just don't know how it can get better than this.
Everybody's always asked my best game, but I would take that night in and night out, yes.
This Celtics championship put the finishing touches on a perfect year where Larry Bird also won the regular season MVP, finished with a home record of 50-1, and was awarded the Associated Press's Athlete of the Year across all sports. The 1986 Boston Celtics were the best team ever, with the best player ever having his best game ever. It really gets no better than that.
All year and win 50 and lose only 1 on the parquet floor.
Guys, I don't even know what to say about that. I think they might have just pleaded their case. Best team, best player having his best year ever. Larry Bird said he should have quit that year because everything was perfect that year. I really enjoyed this storyline right here, man. It's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. Jump in the comment, guys. Tell me what y'all think about this reaction, man. What do you feel about it? I feel like when they said he was the best, dude. Come on, that year, this video showed there was nothing better than him that year. Come on. Just being honest with you. That's just being honest. Like, if you love basketball, you can clearly see that. And this ain't nothing like from my personal opinion, right? You saw the greats. I'm talking about people that laced him up and played against him that year. Said that. So I'm like reading Rainbow. You don't have to take my word for it. Go watch the video for yourself. Because the link gonna be in the description. You feel me? I didn't do this video, so I just reacted to it. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that hype button. if you enjoyed the content. And hey, man, it's your boy KJ. I'll catch you next. Peace.